And welcome back to tonight's installment of Good Night Psych. I'm your host, Austin Albert.
And I'm Michaela Bano. Tonight we will be taking a close look into the book How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character, written by author Paul Tough. To tell us more, we have our business correspondent Barbara on the scene with Mr. Tough to ask about his book and the business it has on our educators' shelves. Yes, thank you, Michaela. I'm here with author Paul Tough to talk about his book, How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character. How are you tonight, Paul?
I'm doing well, Barbara, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. So, Paul, let's just get right into this. Your book covers a ton of topics and ideas surrounding education, but what was your main reason to write it?
Well, I think it was a book that was asking to be written. I've written extensively about education, poverty, and politics in publications such as the New York Times, as well as other well-known forums. After seeing the issues that seem to be recurring in public education, I thought that it was time someone put in the hard work and get a handle on the root of the problem.
And do you think you did this successfully?
I think I did it to the best of my ability with the research that we have access to today about the public education system in the U.S. and areas that need help.
Now, you grew up in Canada, but you wrote about the United States education programs. Why?
Well, I have moved between countries my whole life. I just saw that the public education system in the U.S. needed my time, and writing more than the Canadian one did. Not that they aren't struggling with things of their own.
We have time for one last question. Paul, what are you hoping the outcome of this book will be?
I'm hoping that this book will shed some light on the issues of the public school system and how to make sure students are able to connect their learning on a personal level. I hope that this book is of value to educators and parents when trying to help their students be successful.
Thank you so much for your time, Paul. It has truly been a pleasure to hear your thoughts and hopes for the book.
Thank you, Babs, for letting me come on to speak.
And now to Lily with today's weather.
Thanks, Barbara. It's a cold one outside today, so make sure you bundle up. Today's highs are reaching 12 degrees, but the real feel is -5. Thankfully, temperatures will begin to rise to the mid-30s in the coming days. There is a chance of snow tomorrow, but it shouldn't stick around. In other news, due to the recent snow and frigid temperatures, allergens are currently extremely low, which is good news for all of you fall allergy suffragettes. Now, back to the studio for a detailed review of Paul Tough's book, How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character, by world-renowned professor and researcher Devon Pepper.
There are some really important theoretical ideas that this book covers. Bronfenbrenner's theory that environment affects the development of a child is in full play in this book. Mr. Tough examines how a stressful household has been shown to slow a student's development because their prefrontal cortexes are not able to grow in a fast enough way. Because of this, they are faced with behavioral issues. The book also talks about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how they need to be met in order for students to be successful. When the book talks about chess, they are utilizing the ideas and theories of Piaget because they are talking about individual problem solving, critical thinking, and cognitive learning. I think this book is a must-read. I sent it to my wife in New York City. She is on the board of regents for the New York Times bestsellers list. I think this will be a hot seller this coming spring. Overall, I would fully recommend this book to any educator who is looking to improve their methods and practices. Back to you, Austin and Michaela.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pepper, for that riveting segment. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Tonight we are discussing the book How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character, and the role it plays in education today. We talked to author Paul Tough and met with Dr. Devon Pepper, a psychology and philosophy professor at the University of Oregon, who has some very interesting opinions to share. If you are just joining us, you can see these segments on our website, www.gnpsychology.org.
While examining the book, we should also talk about the strengths and weaknesses it has. Some of the strengths are that it is packed with great information as well as many informative studies that can help educators become more effective in their classrooms.
Some of the weaknesses of the book are that it can be a challenge to read and that it has some metaphors that could be worked out and explained a bit better.
Overall, what would you rate it out of 5?
I think I would give this book a 4 out of 5. I think that it had a lot of really useful information and stories that educators can use in their classrooms. The one thing that I really wanted from it was a lesson plan that educators could use to utilize this information in their classrooms more easily.
I totally agree with that. I think this book is begging for a sequel.
Well, you're in luck. Paul Tough has a sequel that uses this information to create lesson plans that educators can use in their classrooms, just like we've been asking for.
That is just swell. Thank you for joining us tonight on another installment of Goodnight Psychology. Tune in next time to learn about the global warming crisis and how it is affecting our children's development. I'm Austin Albert.
And I'm Michaela Bano.
Good night, Psychology!